Hello guys, welcome. In this series we are going to deploy our Laravel application to Heroku platform. Heroku is a cloud platform as a service, supporting several programming languages. It allows us to create an app and you can customize exactly as you want. Heroku allows you to create free sites, which is really great if you're starting out. We can either do this through GitHub or we can directly push to Heroku. So, before moving ahead, if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon, so you could never miss upcoming videos. The first thing we want to do is obviously go ahead and register for a Heroku account. I have already created my account and I am inside Heroku Dashboard. Most of what you do with Heroku, you can control within your dashboard, but we're actually going to be doing a lot of work on the command line. So, for that we need to install the Heroku CLI tool. Click on this download and install link. As you can see, this works for all operating systems. I am using Windows 7 and I have already installed it, but if you are using Ubuntu or Mac, this is going to be pretty much the same. Here on this page, it is very well documented steps to install Heroku CLI on all operating system. You can download Heroku CLI from here and install it on your system. Once you have installed Heroku CLI, let's move to next steps. In the terminal, now the first step is to run Heroku login. It will ask you to enter your Heroku email and password to log in your Heroku account. I am already logged in my Heroku account, so I can skip this step. Now we need to push our Laravel application to Heroku. So before that, we need to go to the directory where our Laravel app resides. Next, we want to push this Laravel app to Heroku. So, before that we will create a Procfile. We can either do this by just typing touch Procfile on the command line, or you can just go ahead and create a new file. But here, there's no extension to this at all. So, after creating the file we can open it in our VS Code by typing code. And press enter. It just looks like this. Inside of this Procfile, we will define what our application runs on Dynos. Dynos are basically just a little container within Heroku. So we need some kind of web server, and inside of this, let's say vendor bin Heroku PHP Apache 2. Or you can say Nginx if you want Nginx server. But for now I am going to use Apache 2. This is just a predefined environment in Heroku. And then, it should run from the public directory. Now we need to push this up to Heroku. For that first we need to run git init to initialize empty git repository. And this is very important, because the way we works with Heroku, we commit changes with git and push this up to Heroku. And it will deploy our application. So, let's commit all of our changes. Git add all. Then, git commit -m initial release. Now we are going to push this to Heroku. If we see on the Heroku dashboard, here we don't have any apps. So, our next step is to create a new app in Heroku. So, for that in terminal, inside our project, we need to run Heroku create. This will create a new app for us. And you can see, this just gives us a random name. If we go into the dashboard and refresh, you can see that we now have this application in there. Click on this. Here we can manage it as we need. Heroku create command also adds git remote URL. We can verify it by running git remote v. Here it is. So, to push this Laravel app to Heroku, we can run git push Heroku master. Here you can see a lot of output. Basically Heroku doing all of these things just to get our app set up, and you can see the remote install of all our composer dependencies is happening. So we just wait a couple more seconds. Now we've actually deployed our code to Heroku. Let's take a look at the Heroku dashboard, just to see what the difference is now. Refresh. And we should see under Dyno formation, just here, that we have the web. Now, if we go and open our app, we got 500 error. This is because we don't have any of environment variables set up on Heroku for Laravel app. For example, app key. You'll find these normally in your settings, and you can click Reveal Config vars. So this is where you would add config variables. You have key and value. So, first I will add app_debug true. Now we come back and refresh this page. Now we can see, no application encryption key has been specified error. So, let's add app key. Refresh this page. It's done. Now it is working. Let's add other environment variables as well. We can also add environment variables directly from the command line using Heroku config add. And then give the key and the value. In our case, app_name Laravel. App_env, I will say it production. Next app_URL, our app URL is this one. Next, variables are for the database connection. But we have not configured database in Heroku yet. So, let's configure database. So, in the Heroku Dashboard, we will go to Resources. To add a new database, we need to use this add-on here. There are so many add-ons you can explore. Here we need to search for JAWS-DB MySQL. Click on this. You can see here that we have plan kitefin shared free. If you want, you can upgrade of course. For now, we are working with free stuff. So, let's go ahead provision this. In a few moments, it will be ready for us to use. Next, you can click on here to get the MySQL credentials. And here we get database name, host, port, username and password. And we will set up this in environment config variables. Now, we will add DB connection. Heroku config, add DB_connection and that is MySQL. Because we are using a MySQL. Next, we will add DB host. Copy this from here. Similarly, we gonna add DB port. This one. Next DB database. Next, we need DB username. And last we will add DB password. In Heroku setting page, here we can reveal config variables. And you can see configuration we added from the command line is here. If you need to modify any of these, then you can modify it from here. Now we have all database credentials set up. Next, we need to run artisan migrate command to create tables in Heroku MySQL database. There are a couple of ways to do this. We can say, Heroku run and give the full command that we want to run. In our case, we can say php artisan migrate. Or we can say, Heroku run bash. It will put us into the command line for our Heroku server. So, when I list here, you can see our Laravel application files. If you are running a lot of commands, then you can run Heroku run bash. But of just one command, it's very easy. We just need to go and run Heroku runs whatever you want to run. And here we will say, Heroku run php artisan migrate. It has created tables in database. Git status. This will tell us the status of general untracked files. In browser, refresh this page. Here we got login and registration links. So, let's start to register a new account and see what happens. test@mail.com. Password. It just works as normal. And that is pretty much it. So, we now know how to deploy Laravel application, set up database and adding configuration variables in Heroku. And we also know how to run commands using Heroku. If you like the tutorial, hit the like button, share this video and don't forget to subscribe.